Is up, everybody? Playboy Gamer here, and welcome back to some more Fs17, and we are on the Fs13 map. If you don't know what Fs13 and Fs17 means, that means Farming Simulator 2017 and Farming Simulator 2013. So we're on the Farming Simulator 2013 map today. This is episode number 5, and today we're back with Minecraft Boy here, and we're doing some farming. As you've seen, you probably knew it already in the title of the video. So as you can see here, or actually you might not be able to see, I have a full trailer full of potatoes, 100% full, 70,000 pounds, which makes this truck a total of 155 tons. Reason being, I'm trying to go up this hill is I'm trying to get back to the farm so we can dump it in. Another thing is, when I tried to go up this hill, I slid back. So as you know in the other video, we are currently harvesting potatoes. I didn't try to move yet, I just wanted to show you guys what happened here, because I was going to go dump it. Tyler, move out of the way. What? No, Tyler, don't push me. Don't, dude. What are you doing? I know, we'll get your brother off the thing. You do it. Just get your brother off the thing, because he ain't doing it right. Oh my god, you can feel the weight of this truck on the controller. Oh, tires are spinning. Gotta get back on the road. Oh my god, guys, you can feel the weight of this thing going up the hill. Alright guys, we finally got it. Now we're on our way back to the farm. Going by the shop here. There's all our stuff over there. Whoa, braking is hard. It has been confirmed, braking is hard. Oh, we're hitting the curb. Now you might be thinking, oh, it's not that hard. Actually, yes it is, if you're being realistic. Oh, if I didn't mention, we're also being realistic. Just for the people who might think it's not too hard. And remember, this is the longest trailer in Fs17. And we're trying to navigate this around the smallest roads in Fs17. I mean, Fs13, well, we're in Farming Simulator 17. But we're actually in the Fs13 map again. So when we're going around the corners, it's kind of hard with this trailer. The extra thing about this mod is the wheels also turn on this trailer, which makes it much easier. The good thing about this. I don't know how many potatoes we have, but I know we might have to add another silo in pretty soon, as we've been harvesting a lot. And this is like half a field of potatoes. Oh, potatoes are not accepted here. Oh, Tyler, we can't dump the potatoes at the farm. We can't dump them at the farm though, so I'm gonna dump them in a separate thing. Alright, well, at least we know that. Nah. If I add another silo on, Maybe.
Hey guys.
Yeah, why'd you leave?
Oh yeah, sure. I had to go offline.
We're in another
Like
video
me
now,
too.
Steven. This is episode 5 of farming.
Alright. What do you want me to do? Do you not want
Um,
me to join them?
yeah, go ahead and join. Remember, Tyler is the owner of the
Oh.
game, so he's gonna be the one that has to accept you. Hey, Tyler. Take back the controller, because Steven's gonna try and join.
What are you doing in it?
Farming, we're continuing with the potatoes. We got our first trailer full, and I'm getting ready to
Really?
dump it. Yep, we got our full
Oh,
trailer,
okay.
and boy is it a lot. Here we
But do you
go.
mind if I go on my own map?
Well,
Because
we're not gonna
I've got like,
join
huh?
though. We're not gonna join though.
Yeah. No, it's okay. But can I stay in the party still?
No, you have to be in the game. You can only be in the party if you're gonna be in the game. He left. He was gonna go on his own map, he said, so. Alright, Tyler, the potatoes have been dropped in a separate thing at the farm. Hang on, guys, I'm just doing something for a minute. Yeah? No, we can't wait for Watch Dogs. I'm in the middle of a video. Yeah. Yeah, we can do later. We can do later after the videos. Well, all right, Tyler. At field 10, I don't know if that worker has gotten a full tank of potatoes yet, but I'm coming back to field 10 again. Well, I'm gonna fill up though. You know, Tyler, I already said I didn't need your truck a lot of times. Instead of talking, look. Tyler, I understand what you're saying. Tyler, I understand. Listen to me. Instead of going to get your parents or something, you just let Brian I know you tried, but instead of going to get your parents, you just let...
Unless Jesse's right, and actually she thinks she's advanced.
Oh, then if I were you, I would have told her again. Yeah, come on the way back, dump the potatoes and the other thing, and then can you bring bring my truck over there? Because I'm bringing a new piece of equipment back to load the truck up after the next... No, it's not accepted in the grain bin, that's the problem. Just keep your truck on the side of the field or somewhere for now. Bring my truck over there. And then when that's done, get all the potatoes, or when he's full, get the potatoes. And then I'll bring the truck back, and then I'll start loading it up if there's any more room. Because here there's a whole trailer full, a big pile, a trailer full of potatoes. May not look a lot, but this fills up a trailer. Just park your truck somewhere and then just bring mine there. Yeah, why would we start off with small trucks? We're not rookies. We aren't rookies, they are, because they've never done it before. Taylor, I'm stuck. Never mind. I was stuck anyways. Your yard? You mean our yard? I don't know where you're getting your from, because it's not all yours. It's ours.
Why should we have to pay this? Like, this was not a good deal to begin with. It doesn't mean that President Trump will not examine this issue and look at the science behind it and decide what kind of agreement that he feels comfortable and is good for America to be a part of. Not one that places an undue burden on our country and our economy, but one that is fair and equal and proportionate as it relates to our obligations monetarily, etc. and other countries.
Just a quick point here. Really quick one. Very quickly, let me say that major American oil companies, major American companies like Mars, and major American cities and states are all saying this was a mistake. It will hurt our economy. Help
The
us.
candy bar? Wait,
I don't even know if he's on.
do you know major oil companies and bars? Like a candy bar.
See, he joined.
I could go on.
Let me just ask you a question, because I'm getting annoyed at this talking point from the left. They're saying all these other countries are doing it, so why can't America? It's like, when a kid gets caught smoking cigarettes, and all my friends are doing it, Mom. It's not an excuse.
Well, I think that the national leaders who supported the Paris Agreement, including President Obama,
I already have my truck here. No use, don't worry.
in mind. Okay, so that helped President Obama with his domestic politics.
None. I already got my truck.
Trump also had a political interest in selling yesterday's move for his domestic audience. Okay, but Crone today, he's talking about the world, but really that's this all goes back.
I would buy another one to get it over here, but I think it's not gonna.
Basically, what we're doing is
But I think it's just gonna.
agreement that was non-binding. And so now what you have is what I think that the leaders did. They got to the Paris Agreement because they couldn't get anything else. They couldn't get anything binding. None of them sent it to the
What?
Sorry, President Obama didn't send it to our Congress because
What are you guys doing?
approved it. That's the same with Kyoto. So they tried to go around that. And we basically are walking America down a path to being committed to these other agreements in terms of the economics. Now, I don't think that the White House did a good enough job in explaining that in the lead up to it, because the whole story was about the drama. Will he or will he not? Is he going to take this side or will he take that side? It all became about the Palestinian intrigue instead of explaining to people exactly why the economics didn't make sense.
Trump did a very good job explaining that, but it was
No connection could be established in a multiplayer game. Is that what it says?
Climate clerics failed to persuade as well. Their arrogance prevented them from explaining the mechanics of this accord. If you explain it better, also, I think we have to continue to look at the science and invest in R&D. Do you not agree with that? And that means finding cheaper, renewable energy. That's what I'm talking about. The economies. It's the economics that matter. That tells us.
And reducing emissions. And by the way, if this went through and President Trump did withdraw from the Paris
We gotta take the boys to football.
endless lawsuits where people would be bringing cases for forcing the United States government to implement and comply with certain sections of this. The Ninth Circuit.
Yeah, Tyler has to take his kids to wherever they have to go. You're taking your kids to karate tonight, right? Tyler? Are you taking your kids to karate tonight in the game?
Well, then he can do better.
Tyler?
controversial travel ban has now reached the Supreme Court. Will the justices back?
Yeah. Yeah. Are they going to karate tonight? Tyler?
There's nothing traditional about bicycle business.
If your kids are going to karate at 19:20 or at 19:10, it's football time for my boys.
Decide in days whether to lift a stay on the president's revised executive order to
Hey Tyler,
from 6 mostly Muslim countries. The
you're
White
taking your boys to karate, right? I still never got an answer.
constitutional.
Huh. Where'd he go?
The president's not required to admit people from countries that sponsor or shelter terrorism.
All right, Dana, what do you make of this?
Well, I've been saying for a while that I thought that the White House should do this because, especially after Neil Gorsuch got sat on the Supreme Court, it was confirmed that this issue is too important to lead to a long
Who is it?
The conversation goes back if you start calling people xenophobic or Islamophobic, because that tells everyone that you're living in the past, that a past where these apocalyptic threats didn't exist. So when you're actually worried about Islamic terrorism, you're somehow racist. You're basically a barnacle on society. You're living off us. We no longer should be led a fabricated guilt over a lie that somehow we are flawed to prevent us from protecting ourselves from an imminent apocalyptic threat. So in a sense, we have to divorce ourselves from liberal guilt and have no problem with saying no terrorists allowed. Promise.
All right, so Jesse, what do you think? The timing and also the panel.
I think it's good timing. I think the anti-Trump media narrative for the first 100 days is going to totally flip in the next 200 days. They said this travel ban was going to be held up in the courts. Looks like it's probably going to be a 5-4 decision in the Supreme Court. They said the president could get any legislation through Congress.
Do you have a mic?
Pace, healthcare reform, and tax cuts. They also said that he was colluding with Russia. Now all these
He left.
investigations and subpoenas making the Obama spying scandal
He left.
much more important. So, there are checks and balances with these things, and but eventually the Constitution wins.
Tyler.
According to Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, Congress
He
has
left.
regulate immigration, and in 50
Party
days,
chat.
it passed a law empowering the president to deny entry into the U.S. any class of citizens considered to be detrimental to the interests of the United States.
Well, within the
Unpause the game, for God's sake. Ah.
Just last thing, Jesse, that was
Ah.
I didn't know anybody thought that the Trump administration was on pace with replace or tax reform.
I think you'll get those things done by
Well, I'm glad for you. I just don't think the rest of the world is on
What?
page. And guess what, Craig? Guess what?
No.
Craig, there's a big difference between being somehow inhibited by
I'll check.
and history, the reality of history, and being learning from mistakes you made in the past.
We have.
The judge in the Ninth Circuit there said that the Trump order drips with religious intolerance, animus, and discrimination.
I know, is that silly?
Oh, yeah, gee. So I think
Sounds like sound legal arguments.
well, yeah, religious discrimination.
But that's
a
not.
sound
That's
legal
not.
argument.
That's not.
So
That's
when you
not
fight,
legal
what you're
authority
doing
to
is you're
override
actually
the president.
conflating Islamic terror with Islam because you're saying if you want to ban
Right.
terrorism, that's somehow no, that's not what I'm doing because that's what Donald Trump does. No, he says
no, he
there are
separated it.
countries with Muslim majorities.
Why did they embrace him in Saudi Arabia? 50 Islamic countries, they embraced him.
Yeah.
They're fighting them. More Muslims are killed by Islamic terror.
Wool is really high right now.
We do not discriminate against
Wool is like 5,188. It's in an all-time high.
The most likely outcome right now, since the court has stopped hearing oral arguments for the season, is that this gets decided in September. I'm not sure that makes any difference.
I think you might drop
The nation actually needs an answer.
them off
Whether it goes for or against the president so they can clarify it. Not just for Americans,
somewhere.
but those traveling from those
They
countries.
should just call it a class.
Yeah.
That's how they got Obamacare. That's
I think they're going to reconcile.
Like, I'm not really sure where to take the eggs. What?
Based on the Trump administration's plan
What?
to reverse an Obamacare mandate requiring employers provide workers with insurance covering birth.
That's a chicken coop.
They call it the high religion to restrict other people's rights. Well, that's done all the time. Y'all just need look. I don't know. How is it different from the Taliban?
With all these rollbacks and all the things that we hear,
Yeah.
what's the difference between us and the people we're fighting? Nothing. What's the difference?
There's a garden center.
Whoa.
Bakery is up there.
What it's like to live as a woman or a girl under Taliban and Sharia law. Banned from going to school or studying, banned from working, banned from leaving the house without a male chaperone, banned from showing their skin in public, banned from being involved in politics, can't even speak publicly. Wow, so
They're making these kind of comparisons and saying it's likening it to the Taliban
not sure.
It's not real.
And then you
Political analysis, yeah, then I go on the show for go to vote.
So Dana, here's another, let's just take a real for a second argument. Abortion rates went down dramatically when there was greater access to birth control under Obamacare.
Well, I think here's the thing, is that this is a narrow slice of employers that say that it's against their religious beliefs, okay? It doesn't mean that you wouldn't have access to that medicine, birth control, whatever it is that you're looking for, the patch, through another means. In fact, it is Republicans who have suggested making getting birth control much easier and doing it as an over-the-counter drug, so that it would be much more accessible for all sorts of people. And I think that that is actually the direction we should go. Comparing us to the Taliban just cheapens that argument and ruins it for the girls who get, they burn down girls' schools, they machine gun down, they hang young boys even, because they sold goods to America and they're married off to men 5 times. It doesn't help when we're talking about civil discourse being at low end. You know, the right has some responsibility, but so does the left for things like that.
I would agree. So, Greg, you have a situation out here with Donald Trump, who has been sort of a playboy in the Western world, always playing around with Howard Stern and the like. I think he told Howard Stern the lie. He can't trust mine to take her birth control test.
What?
Oh my gosh, really?
Oh, he does? What's that? How does this get on? Is this just a political expedient move by Trump to please the base?
I don't know. I'm with Dan on this. And here's how I feel about these insurance companies or these
Yep,
policies.
it's mine.
If this product weren't so readily available and inexpensive, then things would be different. For example, let's say your plan, which was religious-based or whatever, wouldn't allow coverage for accidents, like traffic accidents. That would be a problem. But if you get a job, divorce yourself from where you work and what the religious beliefs are. But if you get a job, pay for the little things. Let the insurance handle the big things. That's the only way insurance is going to work in the long run, is if we handle, as human beings, the small stuff, the birth control, the doctor visits, and then the catastrophic stuff. The insurance will take care of that. It's so simple. This is the only solution. This other stuff is noise.
That's a good reason to have some house savings accounts, and then you can actually pay for all those things out of that.
Amen.
All right, stay right there. Facebook Friday's coming up next.
Facebook Friday. We answer your questions now. No waste time. Bunny Buster Dana. This is from Clay F. If you woke up with the powers of Superman, what would be the first thing on your to-do list?
Oh, I would disrupt all the terrorist safe havens so that they could not plot or plan. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, you're
Immediately.
on my side of killing. You're like this.
What about you, Jesse? What would be the first thing
I'm
you
gonna
would do?
censor myself here.
I see.
Please.
Well, what powers does he have? So, does he blow? I like it when he blows the ice. Remember, he releases stuff. That's pretty cool. It's pretty something.
Yeah.
How about the planet since it's warming?
That's what I was going to say. That's perfect.
You're brilliant.
Because it's water's world.
Kimberly,
What, are we skipping one?
he wants to be loud.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't get one.
No, I would say, you know, obviously there's things like I would like to go get North Korea's nukes and throw them in the waters.
Right.
But secondly, I'd like to clean up the oceans. That if I could go.
You just put the nukes in the ocean.
No, I meant that metaphorically. Throw it out of here. But I think ultimately what I really would like to do after this show, I'd go over to Greg's house and actually stay at a hotel. So I'd go get Greg out of his bed and I would take him out. And I'd say, Greg, look at the ice caps melting. Oh, it's a fact. It's a fact.
Make sure he's got the belt tied on his shorty round. That's all I'm saying. Pick him up.
We don't want the population to do that. What is your, what would you do?
Well, I'm like a companion to Dana, but like a little salt and pepper shaker. So what I would like to do is remember the time you asked me what would I do if I was invisible?
Yeah, you kill
So guys, if you're liking this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Put in the comments what you think we should do next. If we should do another video, if we should continue with the series, if we should slow the series down a little bit, do some other stuff, then come back to the series. You know, tell us your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, if you didn't like the video, you know, stuff like that. Things that we can fix, you know, simple stuff.
So I mean, but you know, so I don't know that I want to be
Woo!
identified with the character, but I mean, I identify
Hey Tyler,
who are like great detectives, like
there's a Muslim in my machine.
yeah, or how about like Batman and those kind of
They think they've added a Muslim lady because the lady looks Muslim with like her thing on.
Because no one ends well. No one lives. What about
Doesn't she, kinda? Huh? Huh. That's weird. Never seen that person before. Look at all those little potatoes. Look at all the potatoes. Look at all those potatoes. They look like little turds.
And there's like 8 books now. I love these books, the Maggie Hope series.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
This lady has not completed her task.
We've decided something. You're going to need to get the questions ahead of time, or you don't know.
It's Friday night, you guys have sex.
It's a boy.
copy of Lady Chatterley's Love?
Oh, God, you're right.
Nobody's even knows that book. That's how old I
I
am.
think I screamed Prairie.
It was the first 50 Shades of Grey. It was like, it would go, you remember
That's what I should have been.
Superman special powers.
one more thing is up next.
When it comes It's time now for one more thing. Kimberly says most important, but I will go first. 2 Pittsburgh Penguins fans had the luckiest moment of their lives on Wednesday night. Amy Santora got this text message from an unknown number offering her tickets to the Stanley Cup's playoffs final game between Penguins and the Nashville Predators. So she called the number, and the man at the other end said he sent the text to the wrong number. Wah, wah, wah. Turns out he had 2 sets of tickets and offered Kara and her husband Mike tickets to the game for free. Tickets were priced at $329. Santora and her husband took the man up on his offer, rushed to the arena's will call, and were given seats behind the goalie. That's a nice thing, right? Really nice. All right. Jesse.
So last month I went down to Texas to drain the swamp with the star T-Roy of Swamp People. So I had to pay him back because he humiliated me. Brought T-Roy to New York. Swamp Strikes Back. You're going to see that on Mars World Saturday at 8 o'clock this month. Any advice for him? Never been on the subway.
Don't touch anything.
Everybody's looking at me. Is it because I voted for Trump?
You got Trump written all over you.
Feel better? Actually, now I'm just real on this.
You do not want your lips touching the ground. All right.
That's
there
pretty
it is.
good.
Mars World 8 o'clock.
He's a nice guy. All right. Brought me the little present.
Yes, she did.
Alright guys, I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry if you have to sit there for a minute. We're gonna start unloading. Tyler, you here? Alright. I'm gonna start unloading. If I could get you up here to take one of these things back. Alright. Alright, 10-4.
Just keep them up. That way, or just relax, but don't stick them in your pockets. I mean, yeah, you can cross them, just don't. I heard it say someone was sticking their hands in their pockets. I just. Okay, gotcha. Kilo 33. Generate a separate call for a signal 109.
Alright, can you take that off auto thing? Because I'm also coming to both of them, actually. I'm coming to collect stuff from this one, too. Oh, God. There we go, we are offloading. Ooh, oh my God, we're just hitting it. Yeah, I think this thing is about full. Yep, my trailer is 100% full. Yeah, fold the combine. I have a full load of potatoes. Move, or I couldn't go back for a minute. I don't know. Are you empty of potatoes? Oh. That's why you can't fold it up. You're gonna have, I'm gonna tab to the other trailer. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to shut the video off here. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to be part of the notification squad. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!